are back with the remaining of our panelists. And again, I wanted to thank all of you guys for being a part of this conversation. It has been really great and deep and just really a conversation starter. So I wanted to just end things off with you guys' final thoughts, just to get your feelings about the conversation and where you think it might lead us in the future. So go ahead and start, John.
Well, I'd like to say I think this conversation helped to shine the light on the importance of finding strength and weakness, or at least perceived weakness, and being able to, be honest about your thoughts and feelings with others and unafraid of where that might lead and things of that sort. That's especially important. Having a good foundation is especially important too. Faith-based, family-based, having your motivation and your why, and having the self-determination to get yourself to a better place is especially important. Yeah.
What do you think, Gooding?
No, I think I think having these conversations is good. You know what I mean? I think, like we said earlier, it's hard for a lot of black men to open up. So, you know what I mean? Especially when you're amongst other black men. So it's good to have that camaraderie and just be, in a room and just, opening up and letting yourself go a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's still stuff that we need to work on, but it's just good to know it's a good start. You know what I mean? And just for everybody.
Yeah. I agree.
This conversation was necessary. I feel very necessary to actually understanding what we go through. Because although, we come from different backgrounds, it's crazy how we all share that same similarity, you know what I'm saying? And just to see different walks of life and how that, understanding how this person may handle it, you may handle it, and actually applying that to our own growth. So I think this conversation, this whole panel is very, very intricate to our community, and I see it going like very far, like outsourcing and just motivating and encouraging other people that, we may not touch physically, but they can see you virtually, and actually helping them with their personal growths and whatever they're going through in life.
Yeah, and just to echo kind of what you just said, man, like I felt like it's kind of a comforting thing to be like, oh, damn, man, Josh is going through something, or Kadeem going through something, or Jimmy going through something that I went through, you know what I'm saying, or like they can relate, because sometimes like, the world can make you feel like you're the only person that's like going through the situation that you're going through. And so thank you for, this conversation and setting this up and just the intentionality with it, because I've never seen, a safe space created for like black men to just like talk, about stuff like this. So I think that it was necessary, and it can go for further, when people like invest in it.
I really appreciate that you feel like it translated in that way, because that's really a big goal of mine with whatever things that I'm planning to do for the community. I really want to translate it into a safe space, and that is my ultimate goal with what I have coming up for Mental Moves, specifically for black men, to feel like you guys have a safe space to be heard. Like, if I don't have anything else come across, that is my goal. For you guys to feel heard, because I feel like you guys are silenced all the time, whether that's coming from people outside of yourself or that's coming from yourself, just by how you guys were brought up, like how we talked about, where it comes from a defense mechanism that you're raised to feel like it's just ingrained in your head to do. So I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to hear your thoughts and just being willing to open. And I know that I asked you guys all to be here today, but I'm curious, like, what kind of actually made you agree? Because I know some people might be against having these conversations coming from how you're brought up. So what made you actually like agree to be here?
Originally, it's different for one. That's what made me want to come for it. It was different one. We never actually get the experience and actually talk about it, just sit it out there. You know what I'm saying? And being in the space of other creators, and just so that could motivate you in your own craft. So that's one of the reasons I came. And also Kadeem called me and he was like, yeah. And seeing, it's funny because like we always joke on set, and so seeing him hit me up about something serious, I'm like, let me see him in this environment as well. Yeah. So like it helped me to actually come like, all right, cool, like we can shift both sides, like we can have fun, we can enjoy ourselves, we can joke around, but also let's tap into the serious stuff that we actually are battling with in our lives. So I was like, let's go.
I think that is good how you get to like know a little bit more, like on the basis of y'all's friendship, as well, because you can say that you have friends for certain things, but like to actually get to know somebody is like really special. And I know me and Kadeem working together, we've actually had a lot of conversations just in the office where they'll be funny, but we will be getting into some deep conversations. And that's why I really did want to ask him to come along, because I really value his mentality and his opinions on certain things as well. So is there anything else that you want to say as far as what made you want to come?
I mean, first off, I came just because I know it was important. You know what I'm saying? Just for the conversation, and I also came to support you and your business. And I feel like I had an opportunity to work on myself just on my own time. Like I said, I found a lot of time by myself, looked in the mirror, talked to myself. So I wanted to make sure that I can also bring that light that I feel like I got to people around me. You know what I'm saying? Whether they dealing with something or not. Like, cause like Jimmy said, we be joking all the time. We go through serious stuff. We be joking all the time. And I don't know what you're talking about. We do get serious too, though. So you know what I mean. So it's I feel like it's just a good balance. You know what I mean. So like him being a comedian, he's funny and stuff. I wanted him to come here, so because I know that he probably go through stuff in his head as well. You know what I mean. And Josh here, I just worked with him. I met him recently, but he's a really good dude, a really smart man. And you know what I mean. So I felt like it would have been, I don't know how it would have benefited him, but I know that it was a good opportunity for him to just kind of, and also for me to understand who he is a little bit more too.
Right.
Sure.
But all in all, though, I think it was just good just to come here and just express ourselves and stuff like that.
Any other takeaways as far as like what made you feel like you actually wanted to be a part of this conversation?
To support Kadeem off top, but never really hearing about like a forum such as this is really important. I think to encourage people to want to openly discuss how they feel in the Black community, especially. I think it'll go a long way. And I think it's just an important stepping stone for sure to getting everyone healthier. Going into the new year and whatnot.
Amen to that. Yeah. Do you have any more?
Yeah, and as far as like how everybody said, I think that the conversation was important, but then also really like to be honest, like I was more like, oh yeah, I have to do this by the way that you approach me with it, because a lot of times like y'all talk about in y'all first like conversation, like how people be like, or like women or whatever, like might think like, oh yeah, like protect Black men's mental health, and it's like it can be a cute tweet, but it's not like really lived out.
Right.
And so for you to like be intentional and really like sit down, have a conversation, and be like, hey, just talk, tell me like what you're going through. That was just different for me, that like somebody actually just genuinely cared. We didn't have like a prior relationship like that, beforehand, for you to reach out to just see where my head was with mental health. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and I appreciate that a lot. And so that's something that I feel like, if more people was just more intentional doing that, or actually genuinely caring about people, then you can see change, or you can see growth, from that. So
yeah, that's true, man. I want to piggyback on that too. Like, you're probably in like 3% top, probably 2 that's actually actively doing something. Like
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? So it's very important, and you're important to our lives now. You know what I mean? Because you're giving us an outlet. You know what I mean? And you're giving other people that feel like they can't have an outlet, or want to talk about certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know as you grow in your business, you're gonna have a lot of different types of people here too. You're gonna have people that are in college. You got people that are from the streets. You're gonna have people that are whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? I think we should just touch all arms, with everybody, so we can all get it. Because everybody got a different story. Everybody got a different way of viewing things. So, but like you said, though, it's very important that you're doing this, and you're probably like in the 2% of people that's in the world that's doing this right now. You know what I mean? So
I just want to say I appreciate you, because like the way I was taught, like besides like getting chastised by my family, like when I got older, I dealt with all my trauma by using comedy. You know what I'm saying? So everything was just, I always try to find the funny in certain things. So like, just to see it and actually dive straight into like the seriousness side of everything. So actually, I really appreciate it, for real.
Yeah. Well, you guys are so welcome, and I'm really appreciative, because believe it or not, this is helping me as well. Like we said, like we come from all walks of life, but when we come together and just discuss them, you find out how much we can still relate to each other no matter how different we are.